Hello, beautiful people. My name is Daisy. I am the founder of Mother Mayat Doula Services, and I am here today to talk to you about what a doula is. So, what is a doula? Let's get down to the questions. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions. I want to make sure you're well informed to make the best birth decisions for your birthday experience. So, let's get right into it. I want to take it back to what the etymology of the word doula is. So when we take a look back, the word doula comes from the ancient Greek terms and it means woman servant. And for this reason, many people prefer to be referred to as a birth worker over doula. So you may have to interchange those two groups of people. So birth workers and doulas, some people just prefer the term birth work. So again, throughout the world in history and throughout much of modern society today, women have always been supported by a cadre of women through birth and labor. Today, the definition can be looked at as a trained companion who is not a healthcare provider but does provide support to an individual through a significant health experience such as childbirth, but not limited to. It even includes miscarriages, abortions, stillbirth, and even death. In general, a doula can cut back on the time spent in a labor and reduce the mom's anxiety greatly. So in that sense, they lower the rates of C-section and many other interventions that are common in childbirth, and they improve the mother-baby bonding time overall, improving breastfeeding success as well. I think here it is important to mention that due to a myriad of issues, black women and babies do die 4 times more than their white counterparts. And for this particular reason, doulas are particularly life-saving to black mothers and black babies. And so this is another reason why I'm very passionate about birth work and doula work in general. So, just so FYI, the support of black doulas is much needed to raise awareness, and as well as we're out here trying to save lives. So I would encourage you all to reach out and support a black doula, especially if they're en route to become a midwife, because representation matters. So let's talk a little bit about the scope of practice. And so I know we need to clarify a few things here. Doulas do provide practical, emotional, physical, and informational support to parents and mothers going through the birthing process, and also beyond that. Where our scope of practice kind of ends is where we do not provide any medical expertise or support. And this is an example of such may be cervical checks and exams, taking people's blood pressures or heart rates. These things would be considered completely outside the scope of practice of a doula. So that kind of goes into the midwife versus doula. Midwives think of it as they handle all the medical portions of the care prenatally and throughout birth, and doulas handle all those other aspects I mentioned, from physical, practical, emotional, as well as providing information and making sure there's informed consent when going through these processes. Doulas do provide conception from, I did talk about this, they provide support from conception to birth, to after postpartum, as well as through loss and trauma healing. So I want to talk a little bit about each. A fertility doula may support you through the conception of your child, and they provide expertise on evidence-based ways to improve or better your chances of becoming pregnant and fertility. Pregnancy, they support you throughout pregnancy. Some women face issues and some women don't. Whatever issues may arise, it is the doula's duty to provide information and make sure you are informed about everything throughout your labor and birth, and so you should be knowing what to expect um, in the pregnancy and not just in that labor and birth portion. And we do provide the continuous labor and birth support, which holds a myriad of things that we do within that time frame of helping a person in labor. And then with the postpartum support, it's a big passion of mine, because we want to diminish or limit the amount of postpartum depression and things like that. And so this postpartum period, you may have doulas that will do things like make sure that the baby is, that you can sleep and you can take showers and rest and things like that, and they may take care of the baby or prepare meals or do light housework or things like that, and help with breastfeeding and a host of tons of other things. Every doula is different, and so what their services may consist of may be different. But that's kind of where the postpartum doula fits in. And then loss, unfortunately, every pregnancy does not end in a baby, and so a doula is really good at helping acknowledge and honor that loss and that life. And that's something that we have to take the time to do in order to heal and properly prepare for any other childbirth or pregnancies in the future. So some common services that most doulas provide include prenatal. So you may get a few prenatal appointments that consist of a lot of information. You may get a few postpartum visits where they're helping out a lot more with the baby after the fact and making sure that you're healing and properly as well. So a lot of care is given to mom in that postpartum period with those prenatal visits. And then you also have always usually a consultation, which may or may not have a fee attached to that. A lot of people like to do free consultations, but you have to research and find what works for you. Then of course the doulas provide, birth doulas provide continuous labor support, and that's whether they have to have a backup doula arranged or they stay the entire labor. And you guys can map it out and plan it out to where they're able to stay with you the bulk of time the time that you want them to be there. And then doulas provide tons and tons and tons of resources. So some more specific, to go into a little bit more detail, those are just some common things. Just to go into a little bit more detail, some more specific services include things like Lotus Birth, birth planning, birth photography, herbal soaps, herbal teas, aromatherapy, comfort measures, coping skills, new parent guidance, newborn care, placenta encapsulation, which is great for breastfeeding and getting hormones back on track, blessing weight ceremonies, which are meant to honor the new mother, and belly binding services meant to help mom heal and close the hips, massage and evidence-based birthing techniques and positions. These are all things, just a few of the things. This is not even close to the entire list of services offered by doulas. It ranges, it's different from doula to doula. I would just say test out a few doulas and interview a few doulas, have to go through the consultations and find what doula works best for you, and what their services would fit your needs the best. So, and in postpartum, again, the focus is mainly on the womb care and healing, facilitating that healing process, as well as the breastfeeding and facilitating the bonding between the parents and the baby. So again, light housework, meals, and allowing mom to sleep and shower and while we take care of baby, placenta care, belly binding, and postpartum fitness and yoga are just some things that, again, a postpartum doula might make sure are covered. Again, a loss doula is excellent for honoring the loss of a child. Before I close out, I want to just say that they offer a myriad of other information, but specifically some doulas may focus on nutrition and nutritional impact, and provide informational resources on a host of things that are more specific to whatever demographic they are serving. So I have a bunch of resources available to you to help you find a doula if you are looking for a doula. It's different from state to state. Usually you can probably Google and find directories. I've posted for specifically for Chicago, but you can also, there's also a link that you can look for a doula in your area. So all of those links will be provided in the description box. So make sure you take a look at those resources and click on those links. If anybody has any questions or wants me to do any other videos, please, again, message me. Let me know what you want to hear about. I will be making a myriad of other videos soon to come, so make sure you stay posted, stay tuned, and look out for my future videos. You'll get the link soon. Have a good one.